God's advice today. Have you ever felt that God is trying to speak to you, yet in the busyness of life, His signs go unnoticed? This message invites you to pause, reflect, and open your heart. Perhaps this is exactly what you needed to hear today. Watch until the end with openness, and if these words touch you, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell to receive more messages like this. Don't forget to check the pinned comment for a 1-minute prayer and a recommended message to help strengthen your faith even more. God said, "This is your last opportunity, do not ignore it, for there is no more time. Listen to me, my beloved child, for every word I speak is life to your soul and light to your path. Before your days began to be counted, I already knew your heart, saw your tears, and understood every silence within you. Before you were formed in your mother's womb, I whispered your name to the heavens, and the whole universe moved so that your existence would come to be." Do you feel ready for a profound change in your life and in the lives of those you love? Sometimes, all we need is a small step of faith to open the doors of abundance, peace, and the blessings that God has already reserved for us. A simple 1-minute prayer can be the beginning of a spiritual journey that transforms the inside and reflects on the outside. If you wish to attract more light, balance, and prosperity, both spiritual and material, click the link pinned in the first comment. There, you will find a simple practice, lovingly guided, that can help you connect more deeply with the divine presence in your life. Before I formed you in the womb I knew you, before you were born I set you apart. Jeremiah chapter 1 verse 5, "You are not the result of chance, but of my eternal purpose. I designed you with love, placed within you unique gifts, and a destiny that the world cannot erase. Every pain you lived through, I turned into strength, every loss into preparation, every waiting season into growth. You think you are alone, but in every step of your journey, I have been with you, sustaining you when you were weak and lifting you up when despair surrounded you. My child, awaken. Do not delay the calling that echoes within your spirit. There are promises waiting for your obedience and miracles that will only happen when you take the next step. This is the time to turn your heart back to me, because even if time is short, my love is eternal and ready to restore everything in your life. When you felt loneliness tighten your chest and thought no one saw your pain, I was there, closer than your very breath. No sigh of yours went unnoticed, no tear fell without being gathered in my heart. Every night when darkness seemed to suffocate your hope, my angels surrounded you in silence, shielding you from despair. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Psalm 34 verse 18, "What seemed to be the end was only the beginning of a new chapter shaped by my hands. Your pain was the soil where I planted the seed of your victory. The tears you shed in secret became rivers of anointing, cleansing your soul and making room for something greater. Do not underestimate the power of your perseverance, for it moved heaven, awakened promises, and opened paths in the unseen. Every wound became a point of contact between the human and the divine, a living testimony that pain, in me, is never in vain." Comment, "I trust in God's love, He is my refuge." I know that discouragement tried to suffocate you, and that sometimes your faith seemed to fade beneath the weight of uncertainty. But it was in your silence that I found your purest faithfulness. When everything in you wanted to give up, you chose to remain. When you did not understand what I was doing, you decided to trust. Fear not, for I am with you, be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you, yes, I will help you, I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Isaiah chapter 41 verse 10, it was not your talents that moved heaven, but your silent faith, your courage to continue even when weary. Your name is written in my book, and nothing, not time, nor the enemy, can erase it. You were bought with an eternal price, sealed by my unchanging love. Every tear you have shed is a witness to the strength within you, and every time you chose good amidst pain, heaven silently celebrated your victory. Comment, even when I'm tired, I keep going, because God sustains me. When injustice wounded you and the pain seemed endless, I was shaping your soul for something greater. Every offense was a tool in my hands, every disappointment, a mirror to show you the strength I placed within you. And we know that all things work together for good to those who love God, to those who are called according to His purpose. Romans chapter 8 verse 28, nothing was in vain, not the silence, not the waiting, not the suffering. While you thought you were standing still, I was preparing you to rise. The seeds you planted in tears are germinating in soil you cannot yet see, but soon they will bloom in abundance. Every act of faithfulness amidst pain became a decree of victory in the spiritual realm. Everything that seemed to break you was actually refining you to reflect my glory. Comment, I believe that even my pain has a purpose. My child, you were chosen before the foundation of the world. No step you take is random, no season of your life is wasted. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 11, even when the winds blow against you and the promises seem far away, I continue to guide your story with perfection. You are my masterpiece, sculpted by the patience of time and the strength of faith. Every tear that fell, every night of battle, every prayer that seemed unanswered, all are part of the divine fabric of your destiny. Nothing escaped my control, and what now seems delayed is only preparation for an eternal harvest. Comment, I trust that God has a perfect plan for me. Did you know that there is an effective method to attract greater financial prosperity? This technique can help transform your deep-seated beliefs and change the way you perceive reality. It had a profound impact on my life, and we would like to invite you to explore this special practice. When we trust that God wants to act in our lives, we gain the courage to ask Him directly. God desires to bless each of us in a unique and wonderful way. That's why it's important to seek His blessings with faith and confidence, believing that He has a special plan for you. If you would like to support our work and the team dedicated to bringing content that inspires and transforms, we invite you to check out our product. The link is available in the first comment, so you can discover how this technique can also help you on your journey. Your contribution helps us continue sharing messages that make a difference. We deeply appreciate your trust and support. My son, you carry within you a divine spark that will never be extinguished. That silent flame burning in your heart is a reflection of my presence, a constant reminder that you were created for something far greater than what your eyes can see right now. There is a strength within you that surpasses human logic, a calling that echoes deep in your being, inviting you to live differently, more elevated, more aware of the eternity that pulses with every beat of your heart. When the world tries to shape you according to its standards and convince you to abandon your values, remember that you were set apart to reflect the divine amidst the ordinary. Every time you act with love, faith, and hope, you become an extension of my own heart on earth. You are not the result of chance, you are purpose incarnate, the answer to ancient prayers, and a living promise of transformation. Even if many do not understand the light you carry, continue to shine, because it is through your steadfast faith that I reveal my glory. You are a chosen vessel, prepared to manifest power and grace, and what I have begun in you, no one can interrupt. My beloved child, even when you thought all was lost, I was silently working, orchestrating every detail of your story with celestial precision. No tear you shed was wasted, each one watered the ground where the victory I prepared for you will bloom. The falls you experienced were not signs of failure but steps guiding you towards spiritual maturity. The loneliness that surrounded you at times was not abandonment but an invitation to intimacy with me. When you felt weary and directionless, I upheld you in invisible ways, strengthening your soul to bear the weight of the promise I carry over you. Nothing escaped my control, not even the days you doubted your own strength. Everything was part of a divine process of refinement, where each pain shaped your spirit and every delay prepared the ground for your ascent. Now, what once seemed like an end is becoming the beginning of a new stage, full of meaning, purpose, and restoration. You were chosen to inspire others with your testimony, and what appeared as your ruin will become the reason many will rediscover hope. And now, my dear child, I want you to listen with your heart. What lies ahead is infinitely greater than anything you have faced. The time for lamenting is over. It is time to lift your head and walk forward with confidence. Everything you have endured until now has served to strengthen you, and nothing you have lived through will be wasted. Blessings are approaching that will surpass your understanding, answers will arrive in their perfect time, and rewards will exceed your expectations. I have prepared you for great times, and even though the path may seem narrow, every step taken in faith brings you closer to the fulfillment of the promises I have made to you. Do not fear what you cannot yet see, for I am opening doors where there were once walls, transforming every wound into a testimony of triumph. The love you have given, the forgiveness you have offered, and the faithfulness you have maintained, even amid pain, have not gone unnoticed. There is a divine purpose blooming within you, and it begins to manifest now, in this very moment. You are deeply loved, tenderly seen, and carefully guarded. Nothing, absolutely nothing, can extinguish the light I have placed inside you. Move forward in faith, for the best is yet to come, and your story is only beginning to reveal its true greatness. My son, listen to me with an open heart. I saw when pain came to visit you and sat beside you like an old acquaintance. I saw when you tried to smile while your heart bled in silence. I was there, closer than your own breath. No one noticed, but all of heaven leaned toward you when you knelt that night, believing it was the end. Every tear you shed, even the one that dried before falling, was recorded before my throne as an offering of love. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Psalm 30 verse 5. I saw when the world demanded strength from you and you had none left, when you turned your room into an altar and your silence into a prayer. My children rarely understand that pain is also a language, and yours, my child, spoke loudly before me. What men called failure, I called seed. The strength you found when nothing made sense was the invisible thread that drew me near to you. And there, at the limit of your tears, I wrote the beginning of a new season. I know the wound you try to hide behind your responsibilities, the one that throbs even when you pretend to be fine. I know the name of the emptiness that tries to convince you you've been forgotten, and I know the weight of carrying smiles when inside you are crying for rest. Do not blame yourself for feeling. I too wept for love when the world did not understand my heart. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Psalm 34 verse 18. You think your pain is too small to get my attention, but it is precisely there that I reveal the power of my comfort. While you thought your faith was breaking, it was only being refined. While you thought you were losing, I was removing what kept you from blooming. Some wounds heal quickly, but others I leave open just long enough for wisdom to grow within them. So don't rush to close what my spirit is still healing. The wound that bleeds today will be the testimony that heals others tomorrow. I do not waste pain. Every tear you've shed is raw material for the miracle that is approaching. What you saw as abandonment was actually incubation. When heaven seemed silent, I was crafting a story no human eye could imagine. What you saw crumble was not the end, it was the ground being prepared for a new building of glory. Many judged you by what you lost, but few understood what I was building inside you. You are not the end of a weary bloodline, you are the beginning of a restored generation. The marks you carry are not scars, they are seals of promise. You are the turning point of a spiritual legacy. What begins with you will not end with you. I did not place you in this time by accident. You are the first stone of a temple of faith that will sustain many who come after you. When you look back and see only ruins, remember this: ruins are the perfect place for me to reveal my power. I did not leave you alone in the darkness. I only turned off human light so you could recognize the glow of my presence. What seemed like detour was direction. Every fall was a rehearsal for the flight that awaits you. When you looked at your home and felt your heart ache at the distance, the silence, the disconnection, I saw your hidden tears. I saw when you reached out to the son who withdrew, to the daughter who closed off, to the family broken in small gestures and unspoken words. I know how it hurt to try to be the link while carrying alone what many ignored. I know how hard it is to be strong when no one asks if you're okay. But know this, just as Joseph went from the pit to the throne, I too am preparing your rise. Those who sow in tears shall reap with joy. Psalm 126 verse 5. You will be lifted up, not out of vanity, but for purpose. Those who left you at the bottom will one day see the brilliance of what I planted in you. I did not clothe you with the robe of the forgotten but with the tunic of the chosen. Your faithfulness in secret was your greatest act of war. You will rule territories of honor, not because you sought power, but because you learned to wait with humility. I will give you a voice where once you were silenced, and your story will become a bridge for many who now stand at the edge of giving up. My son, do not think that my silence was absence. While you wondered if I still spoke to you, I was speaking in the margins of ordinary days. I speak through the song that reminds you beauty still exists. I speak through the wind that comes without warning, through the word that reaches you at the right moment, through the stranger who respects you without knowing your name. I speak through the small provisions that appear when you think everything will run out. The voice you look for in thunder, I have been speaking in whispers. Learn to hear me in the simple, for there lies the sacred. When it seems nothing is moving, that's when my angels are working the most. I am straightening paths you could not fix with your own strength. I am opening doors your effort could never reach. And I am closing cycles you no longer had the strength to end. Every step you take is guided, even when the road feels uncertain. You do not walk by sight, you walk by faith, and that faith, though trembling and weary, is enough to move mountains your eyes have yet to see. And now, my son, listen carefully. What is coming will be greater than all you lost. I saw when you blamed yourself for carrying burdens that were never yours, when you gathered the pieces of a broken family and tried to give shape to what seemed impossible. I saw the nights when you wondered if it had all been worth it. And I tell you now, nothing was in vain. Every rejection, every hollow applause, every imposed silence, all of it was raw material for the character I forged within you. You were not forgotten, you were being shaped. The tears that watered your ground will turn into flowers of testimony. I chose you not for what you do, but for who you are in me. When no one saw you, I did. When everyone gave up, I remained. You were trained in the desert so you could reign in abundance. And now, while many still judge you by your past, I am already preparing you for your future. He who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus. Philippians chapter 1 verse 6. So do not let the fire go out. Do not lower your head. This story will not end in pain, it will end in glory. I am with you, and I always will be. When you walked slowly so as not to leave anyone behind, my spirit walked with you, and angels recorded your steps with reverence. The world did not see, but I saw. Heaven leaned down to contemplate the patience you practiced while the world screamed for haste. Every renunciation of yours became a seed planted in eternity. I hid you, not as punishment, but out of love. When I separated you from certain paths, it was because your worth was greater than what surrounded you. While you thought no one noticed your effort, I was working in silence, shaping you, refining your character, purifying your faith. I know, my child, there were days when you asked yourself why there was so much pain. Why such delay? Why you felt you were being left behind. I heard your cry when you said, "Father, how long?" And even without understanding, you kept going. The fiercest battle was not outside, but within you, inside your mind, where lying voices tried to convince you that nothing you did mattered. They told you your life was stagnant, that your time had passed, that your effort was in vain. But each of those lies was only a distraction meant to keep you from reaching what I had promised. And even tired, you resisted. Your wounded feet did not retreat, your heart did not give up, your faith did not fade. Those who mocked your silence did not understand that it was within that silence I spoke to you. They saw your pause as weakness, but your pause was part of the process. No tear you shed was wasted. No act of love went unnoticed. When you forgave without being asked, heaven opened in celebration. When you helped without recognition, I smiled. When you chose peace instead of proving yourself right, I called you wise. There is still a wound, I know. One that no one else notices, but I see it bleed when you are alone. An old pain that still pulses when you revisit places and memories. But, my child, listen, I did not let that wound contaminate your purpose. I transformed it into a source of sensitivity, into a channel of empathy. That pain you carry is no longer a prison, it is now a reminder of what you have overcome. And it is precisely for that reason that your heart remains pure. While many harden themselves to avoid suffering, you have learned to endure without losing tenderness. While others shout to be heard, you discovered that silence also speaks. You have learned to wait without complaining, to trust without guarantees, to continue even without applause. And that is why I chose you. Because your strength is not in conquering, but in remaining. Not in shining before men, but in being light even when no one sees you. There is something in you the world cannot understand but heaven admires, your faithfulness when everything seems to fall silent. My child, what you are carrying today is not only your own story, but that of entire generations that came before you and could not break through. You are breaking cycles that preceded you. You are healing wounds that began before you. What you endure now is not punishment, it is mission. Every tear of yours has a redeeming purpose. You are redeeming ancient sorrows, pushing spiritual boundaries, opening space for the new to manifest. The ground you till with effort today will be the same where many will one day walk in freedom. So, even if no one applauds you, continue. Even if they do not understand the weight you bear, go on. Even if the return seems delayed, trust. For this season is not loss, it is sowing. The soil has been plowed with your prayers, your forgiveness, your patience. And now, even though your eyes cannot yet see, something is moving beneath the surface. Promises are germinating in the depths. Answers are forming in silence. Nothing is standing still. Everything is being aligned according to my will. You were not born out of time. You were sent exactly at the moment the world needed someone with your sensitivity, your courage, your faith. Your scars are not signs of defeat, they are your credentials before heaven. They are marks that prove you endured. While many sought titles, you sought purpose. While others desired fame, you desired to be faithful. And that is why favor will follow you. Because I do not look for the perfect, I look for the willing. And you said yes, even when that yes cost you comfort, companionship, stability. When they called you a fool for waiting on me, I called you wise. When they laughed at your faith, I wrote your name in the pages of hope. You were set apart, not forgotten. You were hidden, not rejected. There are treasures that can only be formed in darkness, faith that can only mature in silence. And it was in that hidden place that I made you able to carry the weight of the promise that is coming. Now, my child, breathe. What comes next is harvest. The waiting time was not in vain. You do not waste time when you wait on me, you sanctify it. Every second of your faithfulness has become the foundation for what I will build. The winds that once resisted you will now become your momentum. The doors that remained closed will open before your steadfastness. For I saw what you did when no one saw. I saw the forgiveness you gave, the love you offered, the faith you upheld even while weary. And now I tell you, what once seemed like silence was preparation. What once seemed like delay was alignment. The time has come to see with your eyes what your soul believed by faith. Do not fear the days ahead, for they will not come to test you, but to fulfill you. You were faithful in the little, and now you will see the abundance of my hand upon you. I guard you, I restore you, and I send you forth. Because the world needs the light you carry, that light that learned to shine even in the dark. Remember this, I do not waste processes. Everything you have lived through, even the nights when you felt alone, was shaping the instrument I now hold in my hands. And when you look back and see how much you've endured, you will understand that every waiting season, every pain, every not yet, was truly a get ready. And so, when the time comes, the world will see what only heaven knew, that your perseverance was the greatest miracle. That your weary faith was your greatest strength. That your silent surrender changed destinies. You were not forgotten, you were shaped. You were not abandoned, you were chosen. You were not punished, you were prepared. And everything that is coming will be far greater than what was left behind. So rise, take a deep breath, and walk without fear, for the time of manifestation is near. I, the same one who sustained you in hidden seasons, will be the one who upholds you in the light. And when the weight feels heavy, remember this, you are not alone, you are in me, and I am in you. With love, God. Hope this message has been an inspiration to you. If it touched your heart, write Amen in the comments and share it with someone who also needs to hear this word. I invite you to click on the first comment, where you will find a special prayer and a suggestion to strengthen your spiritual journey. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to receive more inspiring content like this. See you tomorrow.